Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
The debate over when the country can get back to business is escalating. Governors say they'll know when their states are ready.
We're going to make decisions based on science and having a real strategic phase-in of our economy when it's appropriate and safe to do so.
President Trump says the decisions are his.
It's a decision for the President of the United States. Now, with that being said, we're going to work with the states because it's very important.
We begin tonight with these strong winds we've had most of the day all across Metro Detroit.
Ben, the good news is we have fewer than 1,000 DTE customers now without power. Are we in the clear yet?
Pretty close, Kim and Karen, and that's a huge improvement from those numbers that you were telling us earlier. Usually when I show up at the top of the show, that's never good news, but in this case, it actually is. We're seeing these winds diminish. The wind advisory got canceled early. Right now, gusts in most of the area are around 20, 25 miles per hour. There's a couple out there, one in particular where we're at 31 miles per hour, and that's at Metro Airport. Still some issues to watch on the east side. Lakeshore flood warning for St. Clair County runs until 4 a.m. Winds out of the west, so driving water onto Harson's Island, onto Anchor Bay. Just keep that in mind towards tomorrow morning. But as all the water piles on the other side of Lake St. Clair, it is going to slosh back onto the other side. So Macomb, Monroe, Wayne counties, you're under a lakeshore flood statement. We're just watching the possibility that there could be some minor flooding tonight and tomorrow. Temperatures starting out in the 30s, but the wind chills will be in the 20s. Get prepared for a chilly week. We'll look at all of those numbers coming up in just a few minutes. Kim and Karen?
Ben, breaking news just in from Southwest Detroit, where high winds knocked down a utility pole. Tim Pamplin is there with a night cam. Tim.
Detroit firefighters pulling up with us here on the scene. This is Gate Street at Carbon Street. That's under the Rouge River Bridge. Imagine going over the Rouge River Bridge. We're just to the north of that. Here's the situation. The utility pole is snapped right there. It's on fire and sparking. Every now and again there'll be a short and sparks will come flying off there. Right in the middle you see a transformer and the primary power lines here. The whole thing hanging precariously over this home as fire eats its way through that utility pole. Now, DTE have been called. They are on their way. Neighbor tells me they heard a loud crash. All the lights went out. They came out of the home, saw the sparks flying, called 911. That is the scene in Delray tonight with the night cam. Tim Pamplin, Local 4.
All right, Tim. Tonight, cases of coronavirus climb past 2 million worldwide, with COVID-19 deaths now reported in all 50 states. Here at home, Governor Gretchen Whitmer warning we have some tough days ahead.
There were 997 new cases reported in just the last 24 hours, pushing that total above 25,000 statewide. We lost 115 more people to the virus in the past 24 hours, bringing the death toll to over 1,600. New tonight, Oakland County is now making it mandatory for workers who provide essential services like grocery store employees to wear masks. Now, due to shortages, businesses have until April 27th to enforce the new rule. Today, Governor Whitmer defended her stay-at-home order and says a return to normalcy is on the horizon.
We are crunching the data daily. We are analyzing what is happening across Michigan, in our hospitals, in our communities. We are checking in to make sure that we are mindful about how and when we can move on to the next phase, which I said no one is more interested in doing that than me, but I know you all are as well.
The governor's order has drawn criticism. A car rally is planned to protest the governor's order. That is set for Wednesday in Lansing.
Tonight, President Trump is weighing in on Governor Whitmer's stay-home order. During today's briefing, he was asked if Whitmer's ban on non-essential goods goes too far and if the federal government should step in.
Well, I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's very extreme, but she's doing it, and I think it's going to be over a long way before we have to start thinking about it too much. It is strong. It's a very strong position to take, but they're making a lot of progress in Michigan, so let's see how it all works.
Michigan's stay-home order goes through the end of April. Meanwhile, Detroit Mayor Mike Duggan says the COVID-19 related shutdown is greatly impacting the city's bottom line and that cuts will have to be made.
The mayor has scheduled a 7 p.m. briefing tomorrow night to address what needs to happen to keep the city financially afloat. Our Mara McDonald live tonight in downtown. And Mara, for this fiscal year, we're talking about a $100 million shortfall.
That's right, Karen, and the possibility of a $200 million shortfall in the following fiscal year. This is a code red financial situation.
The virus has knocked out two of the city's key money streams, casino gaming and the income tax.
Unfortunately, we don't have the luxury of only dealing with one problem at a time. And we are going to have to, in the next week or two, address the city's financial situation. As I talked about before, we're looking at a deficit of more than $100 million just in this fiscal year that ends at the end of June.
And that's just for this fiscal year. Depending on how long the closures last, it could double to a $200 million deficit in the next fiscal year.
So between the two, we've got to find a way to address $300 million in lost revenue.
The city's rainy day fund post-bankruptcy is, according to Duggan, at about $100 million. No way it can make up for everything, which means cuts are coming, although I've been told not likely to police and fire. The mayor says he thinks they will be able to keep city services intact, but it's going to require sacrifice. What that sacrifice looks like, Duggan will outline tomorrow night at 7 o'clock.
Back here live, what I have been told is that the mayor is spending the next several hours with members of city council as well as union leadership to talk about where they're at, where they're going, and come up with some sort of cohesive plan for these proposed cuts. We're live downtown tonight. I'm Mara McDonald. Back to you.
Okay, Mara, and one of the biggest fears with COVID-19 is the damage it's having on the economy. Businesses are trying to take advantage of several government programs, such as Small Business Administration disaster loan assistance. But as Jason Colthorpe reports, some workers are falling through the cracks.
A lot of these businesses are desperate, especially employees who are not working right now. And as all these loan applications get processed, some business owners are finding the money just isn't flowing like they thought.
We currently have 6 1099 employees. We've been around since 1997, 23 years.
Ed Steele owns RT Software Systems of Berkeley, basically providing an IT department for companies that don't have one in-house. He was also in the middle of a massive data expansion.
We're actually working on the 6th Precinct Police Department from Detroit. We bought that from Detroit City, and we're in the middle of changing that into another cloud computing data center.
That all stopped with the stay-at-home orders. He tried to take advantage of the Fed's loan lifelines to small businesses.
They sent me a Dear John letter, sorry, not good enough credit.
In 23 years of business, Steele never had a bankruptcy, but also never took out a loan. And he says his credit score had fallen 193 points to 528 in the last month because of one late payment.
And I was actually shocked because I wouldn't think that a pandemic would, and support to help a business in a pandemic would depend on whether I have good credit. Whether I never see a dime or I do, this money would have gone right in a U-turn, straight into the pockets of the guys that aren't working right now.
But those guys are technically independent contractors, not employees, and that's why they're falling through the cracks.
The big attraction to this is that if you can demonstrate that you maintained your payroll or increased it, then you're going to get this loan forgiven.
Yeah. And obviously, a lot of these businesses can't do that if they don't have actual staff.
Right. That's exactly right.
My opinion is aid means aid. It doesn't mean I must jump through hoops to get aid.
It's unclear why Steele's personal credit score was the deciding factor here, but O'Keefe says at the end of the day, this is a loan, and with so many businesses applying, everything could be on the table. In Berkeley, Jason Colthorpe, Local 4.
A Local 4 update tonight. Green for Life, or GFL, has reversed course and announced it will be picking up yard waste this week. Services will resume starting tomorrow. The company services most of Metro Detroit communities. There may be some delays, but GFL urges all residents to place their yard waste curbside as usual. In Washington, despite President Trump's signals he wants a big reopening for the U.S. economy, a number of governors say they'll be teaming up and decide when their states are ready.
Susan McGinnis has the latest on the new debate raging in Washington.
Amid hopeful signs that coronavirus cases are leveling off and with mounting pressure to reopen the economy, President Trump declared he alone will decide how and when that happens.
When somebody's the president of the United States, the authority is total, and that's the way it's got to be.
A stunning announcement, and the president declined to say how it squares with the Constitution, but he predicted governors will follow his orders.
I haven't asked anybody because I don't. You know why? Because I don't have to. We'd like to have their cooperation, and we are going to have their cooperation. They will cooperate perfectly.
The governors of New York, New Jersey, and 5 other states are already cooperating with each other, announcing a joint effort to start reopening together and in careful phases.
But let's be smart and let's be cooperative and let's learn from one another.
California Governor Gavin Newsom announcing a similar alliance with the governors of Washington and Oregon. The governors leaning on each other because the federal response has often left them to fend for themselves. President Trump armed with a campaign-style video presentation aggressively fighting back against a New York Times report that he ignored early warnings about the coming pandemic.
I'm supposed to close up the United States of America when I have no cases.
He praised his own response, sidestepping questions about lost time that could have been used to stockpile tests and life-saving equipment.
Susan McGinnis, Local 4.
New at 11.
Are some people who've recovered from COVID-19 testing positive again? I'm Dr. Frank McGeorge. Coming up, the latest on reports of the virus reactivating and what that could mean for the fight against it.
That trip to the grocery store is something we all tend to look forward to these days.
You can't believe the impact it's had on me and my coworkers. I mean, we're all scared.
But for the grocery worker, times are tough, and some of them have even died. They want us all to change our ways. We'll tell you how.
The stories that really keep me going are the ones that showcase the best of who we are as Detroiters. So many of you reached out to us asking how you can help. Well, one thing we can do is to make sure our frontline workers aren't saving lives on an empty stomach. It seems so simple, but it's so meaningful. That's why Food for Frontline is helping keep our essential workers fed and fighting for our communities. You can donate now at clickondetroit.com/frontline and stay with Local 4 for the moments that matter.